All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Shameen Banakta. Welcome to the Talk with the Doc show. I am a corrective care chiropractor, which means I work on the brain and the spinal cord. We do a lot of correction, making sure that the brain and the spinal cord work properly. I'm also a functional nutrition and detox specialist. Today, we're talking about toxins. Actually, we have a series on toxins that we're going to talk about. But today, particularly, we talk about detox, and I want you to give you an overview what toxins are and what you need to know about them. But before we get started, what I'd like you to do is to go ahead either onto our website at www.harmonywellness-frisco.com. And on the top left-hand corner, there's the icons for all of our social media. Please follow us. This way you get all of our new recordings. This way you get all of our videos and the series that change on a monthly basis. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube. Let us know. Just come on in, comment on our videos. We love to hear from you. So let's talk about toxins. First of all, we have to talk about what are toxins and why is detoxing so important. Today, I'm going to go over some of the brands that we use. I haven't decided to use a formal video on some of the brands that we use just to give you an idea. We did talk about that in our spring detox workshop. So toxins are found throughout the environment and in our oceans, drinking water, air, soil, our foods, and the things in our homes. Some of the toxins like lead, they occur naturally on Earth, but our exposure to them has increased because of human activities. So things like mining and manufacturing. Other toxins like BPA are man-made. Some of the most commonly found toxins are things like heavy metal. They're mercury, radon, bismuth, arsenic, and these heavy metals, they're prevalent in our drinking water, which is why it's so important to make sure that we have filtered drinking water. I'll go over the filtration system we use. We actually use a reverse osmosis one, and we have those good minerals added back into it. Heavy metals are in some seafood, they're in some rice, they're in vaccines, they're in pesticides, they're in antiperspirant. Even their trace amount can pose a significant health threats. BPA is another one. They've now replaced it with BPS, which is just as toxic, and that is present in canned foods, it's present in plastics, it's present in meat packaging, in printed receipts. And now you have chlorinated plastics. These are referred to as vinyl, just like your vinyl flooring. They're present in wallpaper. They are present in resilient flooring, in window treatments. They're present in pipes as well as waterproofing. Phthalates, these are class of chemicals that are used in our scented products to lengthen their shelf life, like fragrances. They are and they're used to make plastics more soft and flexible. They are in toys, they are in plastic bottles, they're in food packaging, they're in cosmetics, as well as perfumes. Parabens are commonly used as a preservative in our skin and cosmetic products, including many of the expensive anti-aging skin products and almost all personal care products that contain water. They are found in store-bought food. It's a known endocrine disruptor. That means that it actually affects how our hormones work because it mimics estrogen and it is linked to breast cancer. Trixalan, this is a chemical that's added to antimicrobial products, and it's known as an endocrine disruptor. It affects the thyroid function as well as liver toxicity. It is commonly used in body washes, in antimicrobial soaps, antimicrobial toothpaste, tile grouts, toilet seats, and shower curtains. Mold and mycotoxins, this is huge. I don't even want to touch this one, but I do want to let you know that there are some foods that have mold, like peanut. There are grains like wheat and corn and dairy products that have mold in them, except in the cultured dairy like kefir and yogurt. Formaldehyde, this is commonly found in composite wood. It is found in plywood. It is found in carpets. It's found in insulation. So you want to keep your floors hardwood. There is pesticides, also known as persistent organic pollutants. These are commonly used, of course, in agriculture. And the residues have been detected in 50 to 95% of US foods. Flame retardants, these are not only found in upholstered furniture, but they are also in electronics. Inside the plastic casing for TVs, computers, they're often used in insulation, carpet cushion, paint, and textiles. And then you have the last but not least for today, you have the volatile organic compounds. These are a group of chemicals that became gas at room temperature. So we are talking about, so they do a lot of off-gassing. In other words, these become gas at room temperature. They easily bring in gas pollutants into our home from a variety of sources. There are about 400 compounds in the VOC family, and they've been identified in home, and 200 can be just found in carpeting alone. So what are the effects of toxins on our health? Over time, chronic and daily exposure to toxins add up. So I know that a lot of times when we look at the back of some of the materials, it says that these things are not toxins or it doesn't affect humans. It does. We're like a cup, and this cup starts to fill during our lifetime. So you really, really want to decrease your toxic load, because eventually it starts to interfere with our ability to regulate our hormones, and it starts to interfere with our immune system. So we see a lot of autoimmunity issues. Actually, they say that toxicity can cause about 80 to 90% of all cancers. When the cumulative toxic burden is left unaddressed, it's going to lead to health challenges. So let's do a toxicity quiz, see if you have any of it. If you're having any digestive system issues, like you're bloated, you're gassy, you have diarrhea or constipation, or you're cycling through them, that's a sign of toxicity. So if you're having mood issue, anxiety, or depression, that's a sign of toxicity. If you're having brain fog or memory loss, attention disorders, that's a sign of toxicity. If you're having asthma or other respiratory issues and allergies, that's a sign of toxicity. If you're having fatigue, we really have to look at your toxic load. If you're having headaches and migraines, we have to look at your toxic load. And if you're having unexplained pain and soreness, we have to look at your toxic loads. So toxins are stored in our fat cells. Why are they stored in our fat cells? So when we get these toxins, they have to have a place to go, because they cannot just be rummaging around in our blood system. So they are stored, they're looked at as intruders, and the body stores them in our fat cells. So some of them we get rid of through our sweating, through our respiration, through our urine, through stool, but our body has a limited detox capacity. So what the body is not able to remove, it stores. Many of the environmental toxins, they're actually lipophilic, which means that they get stored in the fat tissue. And that's a brilliant defense mechanism, because our bodies are using to prevent these toxins from freely circulating in our blood system. But in the long term, when toxins are stored in our body, they gradually accumulate over time, and they can eventually cause disease. And while the body can burn fat, it can burn toxins. So during our weight loss or detox protocols, for example, these previously sequestered toxins begin entering the bloodstream so that they can be expelled from the body. However, the process is uncomfortable, which is why during weight loss we start to feel, or during detox we start to feel, to have achiness all over, we're irritable, we're feverish, and this is referred to as the hexamere reaction. And it's also the reason why we recommend using binders to help, but this really, really needs to be done under supervision. So let's increase your toxicity IQ. So there's 5 steps I want you to follow. Super easy steps. Number 1, you want to remove the non-essential toxins from your environment, like your non-stick cookware or your plastic food storage or your antiperspirant. Number 2, you want to replace these items with safer alternatives. For example, as far as our pots go, you could do cast iron pots. You could do non-toxic deodorant. I have I'm going to include some of my favorites here. For example, you could use Extreme Cookware, or you could use the Field Company to buy your cookware. You could replace your deodorant with the non-toxic version, like Primarily Pure or Earth Mama. Number 3 is to reduce where removal is not possible. I want you to reduce your exposure to it. So we're talking about internet here, for example. Instead of having Wi-Fi, you could use hardwired. You could shield yourself with EMF with micro daily EMF supplement, or you could do Defender Shield's EMF technology. And number 4 is to really try to avoid exposure by making safer purchasing decisions. So you want to research items, see what's in them, what are the ingredients, which ones are the safer alternatives, and just use the less toxic alternative. And number 5, start detoxing. And that is super duper easy to use. and we'll go over what that looks like. We'll go over some of our natural detox strategies, and we'll talk about that. For example, intermittent fasting is one of a great detoxing strategies. It's fantastic. It is relatively easy to do. You could do the keto diet. It's incredibly helpful with detoxification. It also helps the healthy cell degenerate, detox the mitochondria in our cells. You could do fasting and keto diet, which is a fantastic combination. You could do infrared sauna to support your detoxification. Sweating is one of our biggest detox organs and pathways. And during a detox protocol, I normally recommend the clients to use the infrared sauna to help usher the toxins out of the body. And you could open up the skin and lymphatic drainage pathway. This is another great way to detox. So I hope that you really enjoyed this video. My name is Dr. Shireen Banakter, and I am a corrective care chiropractor. I have functional nutrition and detox specialist. I hope this really helps you out. Make sure that you like us on our social media so that you can get notification. God bless you. Remember who you are.